around 72. Tonight, shower and storm chances develop especially late under cloudy skies. Lows fall back to more showers and storms possible for your Thursday, and a high working up to around 74. On Thursday night, showers possible, otherwise cloudy. Lows around 54 with a chance of rain showers for the end of the week on Friday, and a high near 69. Upper 50s Saturday. I'm meteorologist Derek Dolman with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 61.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on. And 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Good morning to you on a Wednesday morning. The Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Nice to have you with us. The show is sponsored by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. For all of your residential and commercial real estate needs, give Linda a call, 989-295-7713, and stop into her new cafe, Cafe 476 in the Point at M46 and M47. They have new soups and new seasonal beverages for you, plus the old standbys, lots of coffees and smoothies and bubbles and teas and all kinds of good stuff for you. We'll tell you more about it later. 10 o'clock hour, we'll have open phones for you. At 11 o'clock, the Great Lakes Bay Region Economic Club will be the subject of focus. But for this hour, to start this hour off anyway, we're going to talk about small business and the potential for employee ownership of those businesses. And we're going to do it with a gentleman who has some expertise. He is a small business owner. He is an expert in employee ownership. He is also a columnist who writes occasionally for Forbes Incorporated magazine. He's a contributor for them. He was a former New York Times and Washington Post columnist. And if that's not enough, he's also a CPA. We say good morning to Gene Marks. Gene, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. Thanks for having me on and hope you're well.
I hope you are too. We're doing fine here. I guess we need to start with an overview of, first of all, what constitutes a small business? That seems to be a floating number in some worlds.
A lot of people have different definitions of it. Generally, I go with what the Small Business Administration says, which is any company with less than 500 employees, although I'm sure you would agree with me that a company with almost 500 employees does not sound very small.
Yep.
That's how the government defines them.
So how, have small businesses weathered the pandemic better or worse than the big giants?
It depends on who you ask. I mean, in the Michigan area, there are plenty of businesses all around you that did weather the pandemic. Businesses, or they were in manufacturing or distribution or selling online. But then again, as you know, there are plenty of others in retailers, restaurateurs, people in the travel world that are still recovering from the pandemic. Right now, travel is about 80% of what it was this time in 2019. And even restaurant, diners are still, somewhat below 2019. So there's still a way to go for many small businesses in this recovery.
Yeah, then they're trying to find labor at the same time. Good luck.
Tell me about it. And trying to deal with raising prices. A bunch of issues that people are dealing with.
Okay, so let's put that in perspective. And we have a small business owner, well, whatever size you want to call him. They're facing labor shortages, price increases, product shortages. Why in the world would an employee want to buy into that?
That's not a bad question to ask. Well, first of all, you just made the great case for why a business owner would want to sell.
Well, yeah, I know that.
I mean, put on top of that, the average small business owner in the country, more than half of them are owned by people over the age of 55. Guys probably in our age range, and they're exhausted after the pandemic, and so there is this interest in selling. But let me tell you something. There was a surge in startups in 2020. New startup applications were at their highest levels ever. There are a lot of people that were working from home, a lot of people that were in freelance. And, we always make fun of those millennials. I'm 57, so I'm allowed to do that. But they're, that generation, them and getting some experience and looking to get into the world of entrepreneurship. And for a lot of business owners or would-be business owners, buying an existing business makes a lot more sense than starting something from scratch. You can take it and make it into something of your own, and that's really enticing. Plus, keep in mind, interest rates are still low right now, and as much as I'm talking right now, capital gains rates are still low for people looking to sell
this week.
The environment is good.
So I have to ask though, because you mentioned, for an individual to see opportunity and buy a business now or start up a business even, that's not my definition of employee owned. When I think of employee owned, if I have 100 employees, they all have a share in that business. Am I misreading that, or does employee owned mean something different?
No, you're 100% right. But let's not forget that, almost half of the employees out there are the age of 35 and 40. So there's a lot of younger employees out there. And an employee-owned business really means just that, Art. It's a business that is the equity in the business is sold by the owner to its employees. And just without getting too far into the weeds, what it means is that the employees create a separate entity that they own, and that entity buys shares in the business that they work in. And for a business owner, you don't have to sell your entire business. You can sell 30% of your business to your employees or 49%. But this way, those employees hold a share in an entity that owns the business that they work in. And I have to tell you, there are many studies that show that employees have got a piece of the pie of the companies that they work in. Their morale is higher. Their productivity is higher. The companies themselves show higher profits and higher capital accumulation. Really amazing employee benefit to provide not only to your existing employees to retain them, but it's a great way to attract new employees to a business. And you mentioned earlier how tough it is to find people nowadays. It's a pretty interesting pitch to say to a prospective employee, hey, come and join us and you can own a piece of the company.
Yeah, and you anticipated my next question too, because I wondered if there have been studies that compare the employee prior to ownership and the employee after ownership, whether that productivity level goes up, whether they work harder for the company, so to speak. And there have been studies, haven't there?
There have been. There have been a number of studies that have shown just that, a significant increase in productivity and profit and capital accumulation, because it's just a benefit. Just remember that an employee ownership plan, if even if you have as little as 10 employees, you can form what's called a co-op. Employees can own a piece of your business. If you have more employees, you can form an official ESOP, an employee stock ownership plan. All of these are options and they're benefits. Again, this is like a retirement plan, health insurance. This is like, it's a formal benefit that you're providing to your employees, and they don't have to pay anything for the shares, because the beauty of this arrangement is a bank will finance the buyout of your shares by that employee-owned entity, and therefore the company pays back the bank and gets a tax deduction for it. So there's a lot of reasons, both for employees and employers. I got to tell you, I did a piece on this for the Philadelphia Inquirer, and I interviewed about a half a dozen business owners who sold all or a part of their companies to their employees, and every single one of them, Art, said it was like the best thing they've ever done. So kind of a secret.
So I have to ask this: if I'm an owner, I own my business, and I'm thinking of bringing the employees into ownership. Knowing me, and this is just me speaking, I'm not getting rid of 51% of the business. I may get rid of 49, but I'm not getting rid of 51, because I want the employees to have a voice, but not necessarily a say in how the company operates. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I agree. Listen, you're not Google, are you? You don't want to hear the employees have a voice, but you're running your company. It's your, this is your baby. Listen, you're not wrong at all. This is what most business owners think about. One person that I interviewed, again, outside of Philadelphia, not Michigan, but he sold his company in pieces over like a 20-year period of time. he sold 20% of his company to his employees and then another 25%. And, then when he became comfortable with the structure and, where the company was going, that's when he started giving up control. But he was older.
Yeah, that's called retirement. That's called retirement, right?
And he's now playing golf in Scottsdale. So, but he did it. He did it over a period of time that just made him feel comfortable. And the thing is that you've got to figure out what's right for you as a business owner and what's right for your employees. Now, I have a really good website that I'd like to share with your listeners.
Yeah, please.
It's called EmployeeOwnershipEquals.org, all one word. And the reason I bring that up is that just this month is Employee Ownership Month, and I've been covering this stuff a lot. So a handful of nonprofit organizations got together and created this website. And, if you go there, like if you're a business owner or you're an employee working for a company and you think that employee ownership might be for you, go to the website. You can take a quiz. There's a bunch of content, and then they will connect you with an expert who can sort of guide you through what's best for your company. So again, it's called EmployeeOwnershipEquals.org, and I've been pointing out. And I think it's just it's a really great resource.
Gene, can you hang on? I got to take a break. Sure. We'll do another segment with Gene Marks as we talk about employee-owned businesses here on the Art Lewis Show, where it's time to play the Fall into Cash contest presented by Herman Hiss & Company, downtown Bay City. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $1,000 by entering the following word online at WSGW.com. The word is LEAF, L-E-A-F. It's fall. And the leaf will be falling on your car, your home, your gutters. You know what I mean. It's an Alpha Media company-wide contest. Must be 18 or older to play. One winner chosen each day. Complete rules at WSGW.com. Fall into Cash contest presented by Herman Hiss & Company on WSGW. And while I have your ear, it's time to get more for your money. It's time to think Thelen Kia. Thelen Kia, located on Euclid Avenue in Bay City. Kia combines style, safety, plus dependability with their 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty, and it's included on every new Kia. And no one makes that dependability more affordable than Thelen Kia on Euclid Avenue in Bay City. Get more value for less in a new Kia Rio S 5-door. Buy your new Kia Rio S 5-door from just $236 per month. Nothing down for 84 months. It's time to think Thelen Kia, Euclid Avenue in Bay City. Getting more for your money because it's the right thing to do. Plus, taxes, state, and dealer fees, 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. See retailer for full warranty details. Included 500 Kia customer cash rebate, APR 3.9% on approved credit. See Thelen Kia for complete details. Deal ends October 31st, 2021. Shop online at ThelenKia.com. We'll be back with Gene Marks after these notes.
You wouldn't pass up 5% more torque. So don't pass up on the potential to improve feed efficiency by about 5% when you feed Enogen corn as grain or silage, as shown in recent feeding trials at leading universities. With farm-proven results, you've got the goods. Enogen. Energize productivity. EnogenFeed.com.
Hello, this is Ron from All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair. Now, All A's is an exclusive authorized repair facility for BG products and services. BG is a proprietary group of chemicals, equipment, and procedures that flush your engine's lubrication system, cooling system, and fuel injectors, increasing the engine's performance, efficiency, and life. So next time you schedule routine auto maintenance, ask All A's about the advantage. You'll definitely notice the difference. All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair. Just 5 minutes from Dow Diamond on Poseyville Road.
Is All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair a business you can depend on?
Just moved to Midland, was dreading finding a new auto shop. Search over, came highly recommended, and I, in turn, highly recommended them.
They did a great job getting me in fast and had excellent communication with what was going on with my vehicle through diagnostic and repair.
In fact, 96% of All A's customers rank them 4 or 5 out of 5 stars. See for yourself at allaysautorepair.net. All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair, just 5 minutes from Dow Diamond on Poseyville Road.
I learned long ago, if you've got the right tools and a little know-how, you can do it yourself. And no wall of mine's going to get some dime a dozen paint. Pittsburgh Paints and Stains. Premium performance from its smooth application to that tough, washable one-coat finish. It exceeds expectations of what Pittsburgh Paints and Stains. Available exclusively at Menards.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
You were paying more for most things last month. The Consumer Price Index rose 0.4% in September, up 5.4% in the year ending in September. Economists were expecting the increase in prices over the past year to remain at 5.3%. Core prices, excluding food and energy, rose just 0.2% and up 4% in the past year. Economists say supply chain issues, worker shortages, and strong demand are pushing prices higher. And energy prices have been rising as the global economy recovers. Delta Airlines is warning that higher oil prices could result in it losing money at the end of the year, though holiday travel demand is strong. Delta's earnings top forecast for the summer quarter, but it's That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Is your current home loan the right fit for you? Near historic low rates may be a great reason to refinance, but when matched with an expertly chosen loan from Loan Depot, you could be saving money and paying more towards the bottom line. Call a Loan Depot loan officer and ask about our 27-year Smart Term loan or our 10-year ARM loan. Get a great rate matched with a great loan by calling 866-888-LOAN or visit LoanDepot.com. At Loan Depot, home means everything. Rates are subject to change. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing opportunity. NMLS number 174457.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
The pandemic's reminded us we live in a sea of airborne germs that can assault us with every breath. Your nose is the body's first line of defense by helping filter out allergens, bacteria, and viruses before they reach your lungs. But like any air filter, the more clogged up it gets, the less it works. So how do you clean your nose? I'm Martin Hoke, and I didn't invent nasal irrigation. The neti pot's been around I did invent Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. Navage uses powered suction to flush out mucus and germs that cause congestion or worse, can make you sick. Over 2 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Navage has over 70,000 online reviews averaging 4.7 stars because it works and it's easy to use. Go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Now available with eucalyptus for a spa-like experience. Navage. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show, somehow Biden grew up Christmas. I know he doesn't have three wise men around him.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show. Talking to Gene Marks, an expert in employee-owned businesses, contributor to Ford's Incorporated magazine, has been a columnist and is a CPA. So, Gene, let's do a deep dive a little bit into this notion of employee ownership, particularly from the labor standpoint. I was joking a little bit earlier why an employee would want to buy a company because of what's happening in the world today. But we'll set up a scenario here. Let's say we have a company of 200 employees, but let's say right now they're 20 employees short and they can't find them.
Mm-hmm.
And the owner of the business decides it's time to sell all or part of the business to the employees. How does that change the fact there's still 20 employees short? Doesn't it just shift the responsibility?
Well, yes and no. I mean, for starters, the owner can sell his business to, again, this is an entity that's created that all are part of. And again, this is a benefit plan. So it really comes down to how the company wants to set up this employee-owned entity. So employees aren't forced to be part of it if they don't want to be, just for starters. But let's say in your example, all 200 employees elect to be part of this entity. they own, whatever percentage of the entity that is part of the formula that the company creates as part of the plan. So employees that have been with the company longer might have more shares, or employees that are at a higher level of management also might have more shares. Opposed to employees that are new with the company that might own less shares in this entity. For new employees that come in, in the future, there is a procedure for giving them shares in this new entity. It might depend on performance. It might depend on how long they continue to work for the company. Or maybe they get a share the minute that they sign the paperwork and join the company. In other words, it's all up to the company to decide what the rules are. The only thing that a company has to comply with are filing requirements with the IRS and the Department of Labor, as well as if an employee leaves the company, their shares. So they have to have the funds available to do that. And to make sure that they're buying back their shares, they have to get an appraisal every year of the company. So there's costs involved. But as far as existing, you said there's an existing 200 employees. Even if they're looking for another 20, that's of no matter. And in fact, if they get the plan set up in the right way, they can go out and say, hey, listen, come and join our company, and we've got a great benefit plan for you. You can have potential ownership.
So it's a good recruitment tool, is what you're saying.
Yeah, 100%. And it is again, employee-owned companies they're pretty few and far between compared. I mean, there's like 30 million small businesses in the country, about 9 million of them with employees, and there's really about less than 10,000 that are employee-owned. There's a lot of way to go.
So
if you have an employee-owned organization set up, it is pretty unlikely that your competitors in town are doing the same thing. And so you've got this sort of advantage over them when you're looking to recruit people into your company.
So I guess the question obviously is then, if it's that good, why such a small percentage of businesses doing it?
It's for the same reason that you're asking your great questions, right? There's lack of awareness. Business owners think that it's complex. A lot of business owners, like you, and by the way, like me, we don't want to give away our companies to pure employees.
Right.
But that's kind of a myth, because you don't have to do that. You can give away a portion of your company. But be aware, even if you give away a portion of your company, say you sell 20% of the shares of your company, well, your employees are still your shareholders, which means they can see your financials, for example, and see maybe certain information that you never shared with them before. So some business owners are reluctant, to do that. But I have to say, Art, I mean, Saginaw, Michigan is a wonderful, great community to bring up your friends, to bring up your family. Having said that, though, okay, it's not Park Avenue in New York or San Francisco. It's not sexy, And because of that, a lot of business owners around the country in wonderful places like Michigan, sometimes are finding it hard to attract buyers for their companies,
Yep.
And they refuse. They sometimes realize that, hey, we're trying to get people in to buy our companies, but we've got this great buyer right here, our employees, and it's a way to exit for those business owners that they might not have thought about before.
So if who initiates? I mean, here's the question for you: is it the owner that initiates, or can the employees as a group go to the owner and say, we'd be interested?
So yes and yes. In the end, it's the owner's company. So it's the owner that's going to set this up. I mean, if the owner doesn't want to do it, the owner doesn't do it.
Right.
It's his or her shares, so it's up to them. But if for example, you're listening to this conversation and you're an employee at a company and you're like, hey, this could be a good thing, well, then of course you bring that idea to the owner and maybe get some other employees involved and make the case for it. I would bet that the owner probably has not heard of this or considered or really don't know the facts. And that's why I'm also, I get back to that website, that employeeownershipequals.org. Send them there and have them take a quiz and find out some information. And I will bet that the owner of that company will really be pleasantly surprised at the benefits of setting up a plan like this.
And out of curiosity, because, here in Michigan, big automotive state, chemical state, agriculture, lots of unions. Has this become part of union negotiating?
No, it really hasn't been, like a union factor. All are in place, unions tend to be very positively predisposed to employee ownership. I mean, they recognize that it's a great benefit for employees to have, and it certainly keeps them employed at their companies. Unions want their companies that they are associated with to be going concerns and continue to prosper. And if this is one way to keep them going, unions are very much in favor.
Is profit sharing along the same lines, although not the same legality?
It is. It's really not, believe it or not. There's profit sharing, which you can set up without ownership. So, me, I can have a profit sharing plan, and I can say, hey, Art, at the end of the year, here's our profits, and we're splitting 10% of them with our employees, and this is the calculation. But you don't own any equity in my company. So if one day I sell my company, that's not up to you. And an ownership plan is a combination of both.
All right, so let's leave everybody again with this website.
Sure. It's called employeeownershipequals.org. EMPLOEE, employee ownership, and the full word equals, all one word, .org. And I don't know, I've been putting my clients there, anybody, employees and business owners who might have an interest in.
Well, Gene, fascinating. We thank you much for spending a little time with us this morning. We'll have to do it again down the road.
Yeah, thank you. You do great work, and would love to come back on. We can talk about other topics, and I appreciate you giving me the time.
Absolutely. Keep in touch. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Have a great day.
Take care.
Bye-bye, Gene.
Cheers. Bye now.
Gene Marks, an expert in employee ownership, a CPA. He contributes to Forbes Incorporated magazine. He's been a columnist for the New York Times and the Washington Post, and knows his stuff, and a CPA. We thank you for joining us. We'll move off to our open line format. Whatever's on your mind, we'll get to that after these notes on the Art Lewis Show.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about how a well-thought-out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement. 848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Never been a better time to switch to Spectrum Mobile. You could save hundreds of dollars on your mobile bill. Plus, there are no added taxes, hidden fees, and no contracts. Try the Spectrum Mobile Savings Calculator today, and in 3 you'll see how much you could save by switching. Visit spectrummobile.com/save. Spectrum internet required. Savings may vary. Restrictions apply. Visit spectrummobile.com/save for details.
Here's a fact. COVID hospitalizations of young people have tripled since the start of summer. Also a fact. Vaccines are highly effective in preventing hospitalizations and deaths, even from the Delta variant. If you've got questions about COVID vaccines, talk to a doctor, because our kids are irreplaceable. We can do this. Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. Department of Health and Human Services.
At Shell, we know from the time you get up to the time you wrap up, there's a lot of meetups, eat-ups, and hurry-ups. So come to Shell and get 3 things done at once. Fill up with Shell V-Power Nitro Plus to help keep your engine running like new. Save up with the Fuel Rewards program and never pay full price for gas again. And snack up with in-store rewards to save even more at the pump. Make the most of the stop you need to make with Shell. And engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus premium gasoline. See full terms and conditions at fuelrewards.com.
This is a test. WSGW is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This This is a test of the emergency alert system on WSGW. Equipment that can quickly warn you during emergencies is being tested. WSGW serves Saginaw, Bay, and Midland counties, along with the includes this test of the emergency alert system on WSGW. You're in the Stone Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show. It is a Wednesday morning. Open phones for the remainder of the hour. You can give us a call at 752-6111 in Saginaw Bay City. Outside of that area, 989-752-6111, or inside the state of Michigan, 866-790-WSGW. And Al is in Midland, and he's with us this morning. Al, good morning.
Good morning, Arthur. This is the first time I've ever heard the emergency alert announcement over the phone. Hey, a couple of things. I was mowing the lawn the other day, and I got stung by a whole bunch of yellow jackets. Who knew that yellow jackets would itch like bug bites, just like mosquitoes? I got them days later, and I'm still itching.
Yeah, it's different for every individual.
Yeah.
You know, it's
so anyway, I happened to be watching Jeopardy on Monday. Matt Amodio down in Flames.
Yeah, he did. He didn't have a very good night.
38 times he won, and the 39th time he had like 10 grand or something like that, and his two opponents had 14 grand each, and
then he got the final answer wrong.
Yeah, he got the final answer. Well, he wasn't going to win anyway. They had more than he had to start with. They didn't have to risk anything, and he still would have won. So.
Well, that's the way Amodio was playing it too. I mean, in all his wins, and that historically, when you look back, typically in those rounds, those 30s is where they get stung. The only one who didn't was Ken Jennings. Amodio, he's second in line. He's got the second most wins of anybody. So, he beat out Holzhauer's record of 38, I think it was, or 37. I forgot now, 36, whatever it was. And he walks away with over $1.5 million. So, I mean, he's got nothing to hold his head down about. And he'll be on, like there's a show on called The Chase, where the Jeopardy Jennings and Holzhauer and others are on that show. You'll see him come around to other things.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure. He'll go back to his PhD studies now.
Right. To watch that, though, he missed like 4 or 5 inches in a row a number of times.
Yeah, he was having a bad night.
That's costly. When you miss that many times, the amount of money you lose each time is precipitous. So.
Well, if you're betting the big numbers, if you're small numbers, it's not so bad. But he was losing on big questions, and
he was losing on big questions.
He just had a bad night.
It was interesting.
Happens to everybody.
Yeah, I didn't hear anybody else talk about it, but I thought.
So let me ask you this, since you're a Jeopardy watcher.
Yeah, I am.
And so are we. And I am a fan of Mayim Bialik. I think she's doing a superb job, and I think she ought to keep it. I think she's permanent till the end of the year. I have a feeling they're going to offer her the job.
I think so too. It's interesting. She's not the only person to have this happen to her. You look at Drew Carey. He was in a comedy sitcom type thing. He's the Price is Right host.
Yep, 15 years now.
It's not uncommon. It's not uncommon.
No, not at all. Not at all. But she has something going for her. She is bright.
She's a smart person.
Bright.
She does the pacing well. And she is enjoyable to listen to and to watch.
Yeah.
Which is important in a host. I just thought it was very interesting, though.
Yeah, good. Glad you brought it up.
Well, thank you, sir.
All right, Al. Yep. Take care. Bye-bye now. Yeah, it's, I think what will happen, because my wife and I talked about this very thing, all of a sudden, I mean, Jeopardy is still Jeopardy. It's still fun to watch. But the audience will decrease. Matt Amodio, while he was winning every night, more and more people would tune in to see if this is the night he gets knocked off the pulpit. Well, it turned out Monday was. What happens after that is the audience says, well, I don't have to worry about him now. I'll go do something else. Now, the new guy, and I don't remember his name now, if he starts a chain of wits, then the audience will come back again. And he plays much like Matamodio and Holzhauer and all those others. That is, he goes for the big numbers first. And that does two things. When you go for the big numbers first, it racks up money for you and takes away the big numbers for your opponents. So there's a strategy as part of that. But anyway, sorry to see Amodio go because I liked him. He did a very fine job, got $1.5 million, and more power to him. All right, we're going to take a break. Lines open for you here on the Art Lewis Show. We'll be back after these notes.
Hello, this is Ron from All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair. Now, All A's is an exclusive authorized repair facility for BG products and services. BG is a proprietary group of chemicals, equipment, and procedures that flush your engine's lubrication system, cooling system, and fuel injectors, increasing the engine's performance, efficiency, and life. So next time you schedule routine auto maintenance, ask All A's about the advantages of BG services. You'll definitely notice a difference. All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair, just 5 minutes from Dow Diamond on Poseyville Road.
Is All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair a business you can depend on?
Just moved to Midland. Shop. Search over. Came highly recommended, and I, in turn, highly recommended them.
They did a great job getting me in fast and had excellent communication with what was going on with my vehicle through diagnostic and repair.
In fact, 96% of All A's customers rank them 4 or 5 out of 5 stars. See for yourself at allaysautorepair.net. All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair, just 5 minutes from Dow Diamond on Poseyville Road.
What you thinking about?
You don't want to know.
Come on, try me.
I'm thinking about everything I don't like about our kitchen.
This again. I think it's time to call a specialist.
Someone to make me forget how much our kitchen bugs me?
No, not a hypnotist. I meant Stone's and granite countertops.
Ooh, that could make me forget the things that bug me about you.
Now that might take a hypnotist.
Not if we get new countertops. Then you'd have a clean slate.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Come on, that was funny.
Stone Specialists will handle your countertop upgrade from start to finish, from imagination to installation. They'll guide you through every step of the process. Upgrade and increase the beauty and value of your home with Stone Specialists, now available by appointment to serve you better. With 2 locations in Burton and Midland at stonespecialists.net or follow us on Facebook. Stone Specialists will handle your countertop upgrade from start to finish. Bring the romance of natural stone to your home.
Ad paid for by CompleteCar.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to the COVID crisis, we are announcing a low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay nothing for auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay nothing for auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-549-1985 now. Drivers who are covered by this auto protection will not have to pay for a This auto coverage is at an all-time low, much lower than what dealerships are charging. Additionally, drivers who activate this auto coverage today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and free rental car at no additional cost. Call for your free quick quote today. 800-549-1985. 800-549-1985. What do you have to lose? Again, 800-549-1985.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
WSW Online poll is about Michigan's prevailing wage law. Governor Whitmer and the Democrats want it. Republicans and the GOP control. Recently, the governor issued an executive order to reinstate Michigan's prevailing wage law, saying that workers will earn a fair wage as the law will ensure union wages are paid for state construction projects. Republicans say the law could add another 15% or more, perhaps, in cost to projects. And the GOP also believes the governor can't use executive orders to overturn the legislative vote. The prevailing wage law, by the way, was in place since 1965 until 2018 when legislatures passed a bill to repeal the law. Even though then Republican Governor Snyder supported it, his GOP legislature did not. And it was a ballot drive initiative that meant the bill could not be vetoed. Poll question is simple. Do you think Michigan should have the prevailing wage law? Yes? No? I'm not sure. Make your vote that way.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show. A story in the Detroit Free Press this morning, and it's around elsewhere too. And the headline is Michigan Trump supporters to launch a ballot drive for forensic audit of the November election. And what they're doing by doing this is, if they can collect the needed signatures, and I'm guessing they will, it will then go to the legislature, who either decides to let it go to the ballot or enacts the provisions of the ballot proposal, which then become veto proof. So Governor Whitmer, who would be dead set against this, would not have a say. It's been used in other things. We talked about it. As a matter of fact, we talked about it in the prevailing wage, which she just has, by executive order, tried to reverse. And the courts will decide whether she has that authority to override a legislative act with an executive order. Time will tell. But these supporters want a forensic audit. Now, a forensic audit is not well defined, folks. Let's start with that. But what it would be an audit of the ballots and the machines. And let me see if there's other action that they can do. The way it would work, the proposal would provide for a 16-member board selected from both political parties' delegates. That board then would employ a third party to do the audit. We assume, bad word I know, but typically that would be some kind of auditing company, a CPA firm that does. There are forensic audits in the criminal world, for example, when they look for people that are, messing around off the books, so to speak. So there are forensic audits that are conducted. Now, according to the Secretary of State, Benson, Michigan conducted a thorough examination of the ballots. Well, a lot of people don't buy that. There was recently in Arizona a forensic audit of the Arizona ballots, where there was a lot of contention as to whether or not the president won the state. And it upheld the results in that state. It'll be interesting to see if this comes to fruition, what the results look like. Carl's in Saginaw. Got a couple of minutes. Carl, good morning.
Yes. Art, you can't be serious audit. You know why the Republicans are doing it. They're doing it to lay the groundwork for changing the election laws, and saying, well, if there's enough, questions that we need an audit, then we certainly need to change the laws. It's all about
That's one way of looking at it, but understand also there are a lot of Republicans that didn't accept the outcome. And I've said many times this is a dead horse. He's out of.
Art, have you said, yes, you said we should put this behind us, but have you said Joe Biden won the election?
Oh, yes.
Do you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Always have.
Fine.
Always have. And I point to the fact that 62 courts agree, and many of them Republican appointed. I've said that over and over again. I've never said the election. I never said the election was a fraud, ever.
Okay, good. But having one of these audits gives credence to the idea that there was something wrong.
Yeah, it may be, but that's the right of the citizens. That's the right of the citizens to petition their government. right or wrong.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, you don't sign the ballot proposal. If you don't like it at the ballot, you don't vote for it. I mean, that's petition. We have a right to do that. In other words, while I may not agree, I do not deny their right to take this action. It is absolutely within their right.
It's within their rights, but it's not the right thing to do.
Well, by your view of it, and I understand that.
Well, but the legislature is going to use this as an excuse to try to change the law.
Maybe not.
These are not laws like they have in Massachusetts or Vermont. These are laws. At the end, the legislature can override the election officials. That's what they're doing in Arizona and Texas. These laws that they're changing, they are fundamentally different from other election laws.
Right.
They say
I'm going to have
they
to.
say the legislature
I got to
can
interrupt,
step in.
Carl. I got to interrupt for time. We'll carry this conversation on, but I got to go right now because I'm up against it. We'll talk more about it. All right, thanks. Let me remind you again that it's time to get more for your money. Time to think Thalen Kia. Thalen Kia, located on Euclid Avenue in Bay City. Kia combines style, safety, plus dependability with their 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty, and it's included on every new Kia. And no one makes dependability more affordable than Thalen Kia on Euclid Avenue in Bay City. Get more value for less in a new Kia Rio Rio S5 door. Buy your new Kia Rio S5 door from just $236 per month. Nothing down for 84 months. Time to think Thalen Kia, Euclid Avenue in Bay City, getting you more for your money because it's the right thing to do. Plus taxes, state, and dealer fees. 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. See retailer for all the warranty details. Included 500 Kia customer cash rebate. APR 3.9% on approved credit. See Thalen Kia for complete details. Deal ends October 31st, 2021. Shop online at Thalen Kia, online, ThalenKia.com. And we'll be back to close out the hour.
Your day starts before the sun rises. Once your boots hit the ground, you head out to a field, a barn, or a tractor. As stewards of the land, you know anything worth doing is worth doing right. At Farm Bureau Insurance, we've always believed in and practiced this same philosophy. From heaving bales and weaning calves to spring seeding and fall harvests, it's all about an honest day's work. Knowing your insurance provider is rooted in Michigan offers comfort. At Farm Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with our local trusted advisors is different. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
Find your coverage in Vassar, Millington, and Mayville. Call Denny Miller at 989-823-93.
I couldn't breathe at all. I thought I was going to die. You know, being 27 and a mom and a wife and having that all almost taken away from me. And if a vaccine can prevent that from happening, why not?
Find your vaccine at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine. Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
New school, new job, new home. Change is hard, isolated, and divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. Counted on are suddenly gone. But you don't have to walk through this alone. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has guided men through the challenges of divorce. You're not alone. Call Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Detroit area attorneys. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. CordellCordell.com.
All right, we head up to the top of the hour, news, and then we'll be back with open phones.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Vicki Barker in London. Launched
Rocket carrying Star Trek star William Shatner to the edge of space is now expected to take off in half an hour. Here's CBS's Peter King.
As Captain James T. Kirk, William Shatner was often reassuring.
You don't have to be afraid.
But today he can just enjoy the ride up and down as science fiction's most famous starship captain goes to space for real. He's Blue Origin owner Jeff Bezos' guest. At age 90,
I wanted to claim that I was the oldest person that went.
It should be about a 10-minute trip up and down with about 3 minutes and his 3 crewmates.
Something else going sky high. Prices. The cost of living rose 5.4% last month, higher than forecast. That's at the open. Social Security raising retirement benefits by 5.9% in 2022, the biggest cost of living increase in 39 years. And Uncle Sam can keep writing those checks for a few more weeks anyway, after the Democrat-led House voted to temporarily raise the debt ceiling last night. CBS political analyst Larry Sabato is tired.
It will all come up again in a few months, along with keeping the government open. You know, we can just expect more and more of that through the rest of this Congress.
The U.S. is reopening its land border. Pandemic.
Once this measure takes effect in early November, only those who can prove they have been vaccinated will be allowed to cross into the U.S. by land. The U.S. closed the border to all non-essential land traffic at the beginning of the pandemic in hopes of avoiding further spread.
Adrian Bard in Mexico City. The White House says it's reached a deal with workers and operators at the nation's busiest port to address massive supply chain blockages. CBS News White House correspondent.
It's one way to alleviate the pressure as dozens of container ships continue waiting off the coast of Southern California. Leaders of the Port of Los Angeles and its Union of Longshoremen will announce round-the-clock operations as they meet today with President Biden. But more quickly, solves just one part of the problem. The White House says it's also gotten commitments from ground shippers FedEx, UPS, and Walmart to extend their work hours as well.
In California, Jamie Yukas has the latest on a rapidly growing wildfire.
High winds continued to fuel the Alisal fire as it threatened homes and ranches while closing down the main freeway through Santa Barbara County. This water-starved land hasn't burned since the mid-1950s.
Couple that with 40 to 50 mile-an-hour winds, extensive drought, and steep topography. It's just a perfect storm.
A not-so-perfect storm, Hurricane Pamela, has just made landfall in Mexico, aimed at Texas. This is CBS News.
Indeed helps find great hires fast. Indeed is your all-in-one platform. Training and hiring high-quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
There's never been a better time to switch to Spectrum Mobile. You could save hundreds of dollars on your mobile bill. Plus, there are no added taxes, hidden fees, and no contracts. Try the Spectrum Mobile Savings Calculator today, and in 3 easy steps, you'll see how much you could save by switching. Visit spectrummobile.com/save. Spectrum Internet required. Savings may vary. Restrictions apply. Visit spectrummobile.com/save for details.
Did you get all the stimulus money for you and your family? Do you have children and didn't know you could receive monthly child tax credit payments? You can claim your monthly child tax credit payments and missing stimulus payments, even if you don't file a traditional tax return. Visit ssa.gov/EIP and apply online. Get the money your family deserves. Visit ssa.gov/EIP. Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
The pandemic's reminded us we live in a sea of airborne germs that can assault us with every breath. Your nose is the body's first line of defense by helping filter out allergens, bacteria, and viruses before they reach your lungs. But like any air filter, the more clogged up it gets, the less it works. So how do you clean your nose? I'm Martin Hoke, and I didn't invent nasal irrigation. The neti pot's been around thousands of years. But I did invent Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. Navage uses powered suction to flush out mucus and germs that cause congestion, or worse, can make you sick. Over 2 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Navage online reviews averaging 4.7 stars because it works and it's easy to use. Go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Now available with eucalyptus for a spa-like experience. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, This is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 63 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. A 76-year-old woman was killed in a crash in Isabella County yesterday. Police say the Union Township woman was walking back to her home on Bamber Road, north of Pickard, around 3:50 by a 2014 GMC Sierra driven by a 23-year-old Mount Pleasant man. The man told police he may have fallen asleep and left the roadway. The woman was pronounced dead at the scene. The man was taken to a local hospital for evaluation. The Saginaw Chippewa tribe has announced the new CEO for Soaring Eagle Properties. Tribal member Melinda Coffin, a certified gaming commissioner through the National Gaming Commission and regulators, has worked for Soaring Eagle since 1996 in a variety of positions. She's the first tribal member to become CEO of the properties. Coffin holds an MBA through Central Michigan University and has studied at the prestigious Executive Development Program at UNLV and the University of Nevada, Reno College of Business and Extended Studies. She's lived in the Central Michigan area for most of her life and is one of 4 siblings. A Midland County educator has been honored with an Excellence in Education Award from the Michigan Lottery. The award winner, teacher at Bullock Creek Elementary. Reed said her love of children drew her to a career in education, and some of her favorite activities are reading and exploring nature with her students. The parents of a former student nominated Reed for the award, citing her enthusiasm for learning and compassion she brought to the classroom each day. Reed earned her bachelor's degree from Central Michigan University. She's been an educator for 32 years, all with Bullock Creek School District. The Michigan Lottery established the Excellence in Education Awards in 2014 to recognize outstanding public school educators across the state during the school year. WSGW News Time 10:07.
Hi, this is Marianne. And it's time to warm up your home. And we don't mean the temperature. Make your home more inviting with window treatments, flooring, countertops, and more. Our experienced design team will bring your ideas to life with brands like Mohawk, Shaw, Hunter Douglas, and more. Then our master installers go over every detail, making sure it's done right. Come in and see our beautiful colors and designs. Warden Interiors on North Main Street in Frankenmuth will help you bring it all together.
As the Michigan Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission completes mapping Michigan's congressional House and Senate districts, we still need to hear from Michigan residents to see if we got it right. After all, redistricting will impact your community for 10 years. Up in person or remotely to one of our public hearings held across the state in October. You can learn more and provide feedback at michigan.gov/MICRC or by calling 1-833-U-DRAW. Hashtag Show Up, Speak Up, sponsored by the Michigan Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission and the MAB.
WSGW News Time 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. Police say 2 13-year-old boys have been hospitalized in western Michigan after being shot by a man wearing a ski mask. Chief Vernon Coakley of the Kalamazoo Department of Public Safety says a group of teens were walking down a street around 4 p.m. yesterday when the man started shooting at them. The suspect then took off running. The condition of the boys is unknown. Coakley says this violence needs to stop. In honor of National Anti-Bullying Month, a local nonprofit is hosting a series of workshops in conjunction with Macomb County Health designed to foster self-esteem for females. Karen Palka is executive director of A Beautiful Me. She explained why girls are targeted more when it comes to bullying and why the program can help.
There is that study that girls are more of the target and the victim of any sort of cyber harassment. And this goes on for all ages as well, but because our organization works with youth, we want to equip them and get it before they are in the middle of it and they don't know what to do. Provide tools.
The workshops will be for girls in grades 6th through 12th grades and their parents. The events will start October 25th at the Macomb MSU Extension Center. President Joe Biden has appointed Chicago wastewater official Deborah Shore to direct the U.S. EPA's Midwestern office. Shore will oversee EPA Region 5, which includes Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Minnesota, Ohio, and Wisconsin, along with 35 indigenous tribes. The office oversees efforts to clean up the Great Lakes and deals with matters including industrial and agricultural drinking water. Shore is an elected member of the Board of Commissioners of the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago. That agency handles wastewater treatment and stormwater management. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Cloudy today, high near 63. Tonight, mainly cloudy areas, the showers and storms low near 56. Near 65 on Thursday. Lots of sunshine. Thursday night, mainly clear, low of 45. On Friday, occasional sun. Slight chance of 58. Friday night, mainly cloudy, low near 42. High at 55 on Saturday. Mainly cloudy, a few sunny breaks. Saturday night, partly cloudy, low near 43. Sunny on Sunday, high near 57. On Monday, we're a high of 62. I'm meteorologist Laura Lockwood with a WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now, 62.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 and online, WSGW.com.
And welcome back to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW for this Wednesday morning. Nice to have you with us. Open phones for this hour. So whatever's on your mind, whatever you'd like to chat about, Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111. Inside the state of Michigan, 866-790-WSGW. Outside the state or inside, 989-752-6111. Whatever's on your mind, we'd be happy to chat with you about it. Last hour, we talked a little bit about the proposal, the ballot proposal, the petition, citizens' petition for a forensic audit to the elections. They have to get the language, they have to get the language approved yet, which hasn't been done, but they will go before the Board of Canvassers to do that. And then they'll have a period of time to collect the signatures, and then the legislature will have a period of time to decide what to do with it before it actually gets to the ballot, if it gets to the ballot. Another story, headline, Social Security checks will likely be much bigger in 2022. That's bad news for retirees. Now, you heard me right. Social Security checks will likely be much bigger in 2022. That's bad news for retirees. Well, why do they say that? Well, let's take a look at it. Social Security Administration has announced a 5.9% increase in the COLA for Social Security recipients. It's the biggest one in, I think they said 30 some odd years or something. It's a big, big increase. And on the surface, you would say, great, more money in the seniors' pockets. Here's the problem. What does it represent? It represents inflation. So we'll pick numbers out of thin air. Let's say you're a Social Security recipient and you're getting, let's say you're getting $1,800 a month. And now all of a sudden, you're going to get, I don't know, pick a number, $1,900 a month, $100 more. That's wonderful on the surface. However, what most likely is going to happen, Medicare Part B, which you pay for out of your Social Security, is going to go up from its $148 to $157. That's the estimate. So that eats $11 of that away. Inflation, the price you pay for food, energy, fuel for your car, are all going up at least that rate. So maybe if you're lucky, you can keep up with inflation, but more than likely, you will actually not have been given enough money to keep up totally with inflation. So while it's wonderful to say, oh, a 5.9 increase for seniors, the bad news is most of it, if not all of it, it's going to disappear. caller's waiting for us, so let's get back to him. Randy is in Saginaw. Randy, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Aaron. I just have to chuckle at Carl from Midland because
Saginaw,
it
yeah.
seems like what do you want to hide? You know, if you think that Biden won, that this would just prove your point, right?
Yep.
So why stop it?
Yeah, I
It
don't.
seems kind of
I don't believe in
funny,
stopping
the
it.
Democrat-
I don't
Yeah.
believe. I don't believe in stopping it because it's the right of the people to do it. It's one of our most precious rights.
Yeah, isn't it ironic that the Democrat Carl wants to, put the boot on the rights of the people? What has he got to hide? That's all I got to say. All right, have a great day.
Yep. All right. Thanks, Randy. And that's one way of looking at it. If there's nothing there, there's nothing there. And if there is something there, all right, let's find out about it. Jake is in Saginaw. Jake, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Doing well.
Well, I wanted to point out something that I think you said that was misleading, and that was that the report upheld the results. And it quite exactly did not uphold the results because there's a difference between a recount and an audit. And I presume you know what the differences are, but explaining it in very basic terms, if I give my to go buy some candy, and $3 of those dollars are Monopoly money, he's going to say, you only gave me $12. And if I say, well, you need to recount it, he's going to say, well, there's $15 here, but $3 of those dollars are not real dollars. Then I'm going to say, well, son, guess what? You're not recounting the money. You are now auditing the money. And they found over 54,000 illegal ballots identified in this report, and the margin of victory was razor thin. So it'd be disingenuous to say that it upheld any kind of results whatsoever. And further, it's been forwarded to the attorney, faith in him. But the point is, they found numerous things that they were looking for, and I definitely believe that Michigan is one of the states that needs a forensic audit.
That's fine. And I think, that's fine. If the petition survives the Board of Canvassers and gets around, then sign it. Because I'll tell you what will happen. If they get enough signatures, and I think they'll need 340,000 or something, whatever the count is, and I will tell you, I'm pretty sure they'll get those signatures. Then the legislature can move to enact, and the governor can't veto. And that's the whole purpose of this, to avoid the governor's veto. And in which case, then fine, we'll take a look and see what they find.
Yep,
But you can't get around the fact that 62 courts, many of them Republican appointed, not one of them found for Trump. Not one single one. You can't get around that.
The courts are corrupt. But I mean,
So anybody that doesn't agree is corrupt.
The number of people that provided affidavits of election fraud and election irregularities is astounding. And for anybody to look the other way, including the courts, is completely ridiculous.
Well, you can say that, but the facts are facts. They've ruled that way, and nobody's changed their mind. And I haven't seen anything to change it. I
urge everyone to go contact their legislators, let them be heard, and we need to audit the state. It's so corrupt.
Well, that's your opinion. We'll find out.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for calling, Jake. Now, listen, here's my view of this. I've said it many, many times. I think in any deep dive audit into an election, you're going to find irregularities. It is not the fact that there are irregularities. I think everybody agrees there are probably irregularities. It is the size of the irregularity that counts. And if there is a forensic audit in the state of Michigan, then we will find out if there was shenanigans or not. And, I am watching with interest to see how this goes. It's a divided state. So I don't think they're going to have much trouble getting the necessary signatures once they get past the Board of Canvassers for language I don't think they will have much trouble getting the necessary signatures. Then the question is, does the legislature let it go to the ballot where the citizens decide? Or will the legislature, as I believe they would, enact legislation to follow the ballot proposal, which is veto proof? Time will tell. It's going to be an interesting thing to watch, no doubt about it. But in my humble opinion, nothing will change. Just the way I view it. Right or wrong. I mean, prove me wrong, fine. I don't rely on innuendo. I don't rely on partisan interpretation. I want facts. If the forensic audit will provide those facts, fine. I'm all for it. All right. And, and again, as I said last hour, forensic audits are not very well defined when it comes to this. There are forensic audits in criminal investigations where they really do deep dives into a person's accounting history, financial history, if you will. There are legal forensic audits. How that applies to a voting issue, I'm not sure. But there are forensic audits. We're going to take a pause here. Let me give away some money. We can audit your account when you get the $1,000, right? It's time to play the WSGW Fall into Cash contest presented by Herman Hiss and Company, downtown Bay City. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $1,000 by entering the following word online at WSGW.com. The word this hour is ball, B-A-L-L. He hits the ball, and the ball is caught. This is an Alpha Media company-wide contest. Must be 18 or older to play. One winner chosen each day. Complete rules at WSGW.com. It's Fall into Cash contest presented by Herman Hiss and Company in Bay City on WSGW. And we will be back after these notes.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Sachs offers personal loans with no fees, ever. Banks offer coffee. A Marcus by Goldman Sachs loan with no fees that could help consolidate debt, or bank coffee that tastes like bank coffee. You can money. Visit Marcus.com to learn more about saving, borrowing, and investing from Marcus by Goldman Sachs.
Investing involves risk and investments may lose value. Brokerage and investment advisory services by Goldman Sachs and Company, LLC. Member FINRA SIPC. Lending and deposits products provided by Goldman Sachs Bank USA. Member FDIC.
With confusion around vaccinations, masks, and public screenings, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign, so make sure you use an accurate thermometer for your family. Only oral scanner thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them and cannot be relied on. Be vigilant and be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Today on Hey Culligan's Smart Home, Smarter Water Softener, here's Kevin.
Hey Culligan, lift those heavy salt bags for me?
Kevin, it can.
Wait, it can?
Yep, the smart high-efficiency water softener from Culligan can alert your dealer when the salt needs to be replaced, and they'll do it for you, so your water stays soft and you stay away from lifting the bags.
I mean, I could lift them if I wanted.
No judgment here, Kevin. We're happy to do it, and we're already on. Out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks open flat after confirmation that prices are continuing to rise. The consumer price index rose 0.4% in September, up 5.4% in the year ending in September. Investment firm BlackRock were stronger than forecast. JP Morgan's earnings were slightly better than expected. Delta's earnings are being tempered by its prediction that it could lose money for the rest of the year because of high fuel prices. Delta also is seeing strong demand for Delta made a profit in the summer quarter, its first since the pandemic began, without the help of government aid. Apple shares have been under pressure after a Bloomberg report saying the chip shortage will impact iPhone 13 production. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
Is your current home loan the right fit for you? Near historic low rates may be a great reason to refinance, but when matched with an expertly chosen loan from Loan Depot, you could be saving money and paying more towards the bottom line. Call a Loan Depot our 27-year smart term loan or our 10-year ARM loan. Get a great rate matched with a great loan by calling 866-888-LOAN or visit loandepot.com. At Loan Depot, home means everything. Rates are subject to change. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing opportunity. NMLS number 174457. Licensed in all 50 states.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
The Saginaw Spirit play here.
Left wing side, Solovia. Rister scores! Front of the net, and I think he got his stick on it to tie this game.
Finally, Saginaw Spirit Hockey is back on WSGW. The regular season at home this Saturday night against the Erie Otters. Play-by-play man Joey Vitano will describe all the hard-hitting, high-scoring action live Saturday night at 6:50 p.m. on 100.5 FM News Radio WSGW.
Saginaw Spirit Hockey is on WSGW.
And we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show. I did a little homework during the break because one of my colleagues had put up a note on my screen that there's no such thing as a forensic audit. He is incorrect. There is forensic audits. As a matter of fact, most large CPA firms have a department of forensic audit. It is used to derive information that could be used in criminal cases in a court of law. So there are forensic audits without question.
Hey, Art, it's Pat. This is according to David Becker, attorney for the U.S. Department of Justice, Clinton and W. Bush. This is an article written in Bridge Magazine by Jonathan Oosting, used to write for the Detroit News. And they said, there really is no such thing as a forensic audit. They are really just two words that people put together because they thought they sounded good.
Well, then you ought to look at big accounting firms who have departments of forensic audit.
But I think what he's talking about is strictly with voting.
Well, they can use the term, though. I mean, and would not the result be the same? If, for example, a forensic audit, we'll use the term for now, is conducted on the election and illegal activities were found that could be used in a court of law, would it not have the same result? As if it went in, see, most forensic audits are used against companies and individuals,
right?
Their financials. Then the result is the forensic auditor gains information that can be used in a court of law against the individual. So if a forensic audit of voting turns up illegal activity, what's the difference?
No, I don't think so, though. I don't think that is the exact same. I don't think that's the exact same thing. And nobody's actually been able to say what is a forensic audit for when it comes to voting.
That's true.
That's the problem. And I think that's what this guy is talking about. Now, I don't know. And now, look, I'm just a guy in front of a microphone. This guy works for the Justice Department and for the voting.
Oh, yeah, but I looked at accounting companies who have accounting departments of forensic audits. So I think they know what they're talking about.
But that's for money. Yes, I agree, but not for voting. It's just a term. That's just thrown out there. And as we saw in Arizona, what were they? They were trying to actually, I think some of the activists out there, they believed that some of the ballots were bamboo ballots.
Yeah, there was some weird stuff.
China.
It was
all
weird.
stuff. This is all weird stuff, and that this is going to cost us money, and we're going to take time and energy to have to do this. Now we could put this to a vote if this is a ballot initiative. People have to sign the signatures. Allow us to waste time and having to go through and recount all these ballots once again. But we won't get that. We probably won't get that chance because I think
probably won't.
Republican legislature will take it in their own hands, and they won't let us.
Maybe
Say.
Yeah, it's a hot potato, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
I know
It'll be interesting to watch.
And you know what, Art? You are right. I was glad. I would have been told if I was guest hosting, and when you were talking to Carl, I would have said, no. Art's always said that the election was on the up and up, and he was with it. I'm just tired of all of these conspiracy theories that are pushing.
Well,
the lie.
yeah, that won't go away. That isn't going to go away. You know that, and I know that. That will not go away because it's such a divided nation that it just isn't going to go away. It's going to continue, and it's unfortunate because it's distracting. But when it comes to the ballot initiative, we have the right to petition the government. So from that standpoint, if they want to go for it, go for it. I mean, that's the way I view it. It's the citizens have the right to petition their government if they feel that they have been wronged, and this is what happens. All right, Pat, thank you. And let's go to Ann from Saginaw. Ann, good morning.
Yes.
Morning.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi.
Something beeped. I thought we got disconnected.
Oh, that was the connection.
Okay. I don't think that any of these recounts are really going to do anything because, again, I've said that once the ballots are removed from their sleeves, there's no way that they can double check that because of the reason that so many ballots went out that were not, accounted for, that the person was actually at that address and whatnot all. I go back to way before the 20.
Well, wait, hang on a minute, Ann. Let me say one thing. Whether we agree with the term forensic audit or not, that's exactly what they will do because they will take the ballots they have. They will also go into the voting roll books. They will look everywhere to see who voted. They will do that.
Well, hopefully they will
deeply.
And can. I'm just not so sure that they can because.
Well, they can if they get the right to.
The way some of the ballots were handled.
How many?
Pardon?
How many?
I don't care how many. That's not the issue.
Sure it is.
I'm saying, no.
Is it one ballot? Is it one? No, I'm asking you to explain yourself. Is it one ballot or a million?
I'm going to explain myself. I've watched Stacey Abrams for a long time. She's the one that ran for governor in Georgia. She has never to this date acknowledged that she lost. And she did interviews way back almost a year and a half before the election telling how she, and this has probably been erased from technology already, I don't know, but she talked about her teams that she was sending out across, that they had 200 plus lawsuits in counties and cities regarding voting laws in those places. Okay, fine. That's her right to do that. But then also the thing that is curious to me is the article in the Saginaw News back in March of this year about Mark Zuckerberg granting $400 million overall to local election clerks nationwide. And what that is for and how that affects anything, I really am suspicious. Detroit, for instance, got $3.5 million. Wayne County got $432. Some clerks said that they got so much money they weren't even able to spend it all. The other part is that the Pennsylvania, for instance, and many states had judges and clerks rules as they went along that month of the election. And that is illegal. It's wrong because according to the Constitution, the legislature in each state is the entity that writes the voting laws.
Okay, so this is, I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But understand that 62 courts ruled against you and your position.
No,
And a lot of those courts were Republican judges.
I understand that, and you've said it 1,000 times, but that's still not the exact issue. The issue is that those judges, I'm sure, did not want to upset the whole country by trying to rule. Because
Why are you
again,
sure?
They didn't necessarily have all the equipment and ability to sort it all out at that point.
In other words,
They do
and
now.
they didn't rule the way you want them to rule. Now, listen, don't misunderstand me. I am not
talking about the judges who changed the laws. That's what I'm
okay.
talking about.
Well, all right. So
in
there
the
were
middle of an election.
62
And
of them.
that is illegal and wrong.
Okay.
What? How many?
62 judges ruled against Trump suits each and every time,
That's different
not
than the
just
judges
Pennsylvania.
that changed election laws and the courts
Okay.
that changed election laws.
All right, Em. Well, we'll
This
find out.
is illegal.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye. We'll get to Mike in Bay City and others after these notes here on the Art Lewis Show.
You work hard to find the right soybean seed for your fields, and you stand by your work. So do we. That's why we put our soybean seed through strenuous testing and provide precise varieties and expert agronomic support for your operation. Ask your authorized retailer or your BASF agronomic about Credenz, because credibility isn't just part of our name, it's our commitment. Credenz soybean seed. For the experts that understand, credibility is earned. Always read and follow label directions. I wasn't able to sleep in my own bed. Because of my wife's struggles with CPAP, I had to move out to the couch, out to the recliner, out to my son's bunk bed. That is until she started using Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside her body with just the click of a remote.
Get back to sleeping in your... No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit InspireSleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
The pandemic's reminded us we live in a sea of airborne germs that can assault us with every breath. Your nose is the body's first line of defense. Pathogens, bacteria, and viruses before they reach your lungs. So how do you clean your nose? Navage uses powered suction to flush out mucus and germs that cause congestion or worse, can make you sick. Over 2 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid.
Hi, I'm Terry Rock. Are you happy with your Medicare? I am now, after I met the pros at Medicare Choices. Yes, you do have choices when it comes to Medicare coverage. No cookie cutter plan for me. You buy a pair of shoes if they fit. Get the right fit. A customized plan designed just for you that helps you protect that hard-earned retirement. 989-899-7820. MedicareChoicesInfo.com will walk you through every step.
Marcus by Goldman Sachs offers personal loans with no fees, ever. Banks offer coffee. So what's more important? A Marcus by Goldman Sachs loan with no fees that could help consolidate debt, or bank coffee that tastes like bank money. Visit Marcus.com to learn more about saving, borrowing, and investing from Marcus by Goldman Sachs.
Investing involves risk and investments may lose value. Brokerage and investment advisory services by Goldman Sachs & Company, LLC. Member FINRA SIPC. Lending and deposits products provided by Goldman Sachs Bank USA. Member FDIC.
Attorney Joe Cordell. New school, new job, new home. Change if you're feeling isolated. And divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationships you counted on are suddenly gone. But you don't have to walk through this alone. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has guided men through the challenges of divorce. You're not alone. Call Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Detroit areas in Troy and Ann Arbor. CordellCordell.com.
COVID is spiking again, and it's just not clear how to keep your family safe. Fever is the leading symptom of COVID, and the only way to reliably detect it is with an accurate thermometer. Be vigilant and be accurate with the Exergen Temporal Scanner, whose accuracy 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers are proven to be inaccurate and will not reliably detect a fever that might mean COVID. Learn more at Exergen.com.
If you're worried about your borderline blood pressure, hear how others are taking charge with Garlic Healthy Blood Pressure Formula.
Garlic works safely and pressure.
Garlic Healthy Blood Pressure Formula has a custom blend of garlic, vitamins, and minerals, so you know it works.
No garlic taste, no garlic breath.
Take charge of your blood pressure with Garlic Healthy Blood Pressure Formula. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. And moving on here, another topic I wanted to bring up this morning. This is another one that's going to be interesting to watch. This will be the federal government versus state government. If you've been watching the news, the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, is barring companies in Texas from mandating vaccines. Federal government, on the other hand, by executive order, is requiring employees of companies over 100, I believe, to be vaccinated for COVID-19 by December 8th. There are two airlines headquartered in Texas that are now defying the governor. American Airlines and Southwest stand by their vaccine mandates, saying that they believe the federal government supersedes the state government. This will be absolutely a court case. The question is, how high does it go and how fast does it get there? I would personally like to see the Supreme Court take this on an emergency basis and rule quickly on it so that we can get about the business of deciding whether this is right or wrong. That would include deciding whether the president has the right by executive order to order business to mandate vaccines of businesses over 100. That would include whether or not federal mandates supersede state mandates, and what's allowed by the Constitution to be decided by the states. All those powers not specifically granted to the federal government are allowed to the states. So this is going to be an interesting thing to watch. Again, American Airlines and Southwest Airlines are following the federal guidelines requiring vaccinations. Southwest is having all kinds of problems now. No one knows for sure if this is a pilot action or if they are just short-staffed, but they've been canceling flights right and left. There are also employees of United Airlines that have filed a class action in federal court in Texas claiming that workers who sought exemptions from the vaccine mandate were subjected to intrusive inquiries about their medical conditions or their religious beliefs, because those are exemptable conditions. That case will be heard today. And the court yesterday issued an order restraining the airlines until October 26th from placing these employees on leave until the court rules on the matter. They also restrained temporarily United from denying any late requests for religious or medical accommodations. The Abbott mandate says that no mandates. Companies in Texas, headquartered in Texas, are not allowed to demand their employees be vaccinated. So, once again, we see the federal government up against the state government in a constitutional battle. And I would hope that this gets court action quickly and gets resolved quickly so we can get on about the business of the country. There are so many distractions right now. There's the pandemic distractions. There's the voting distractions. There's the inflation distractions. There's the, you name it, distractions. Immigration. You know, There are major issues out there that need our focus. Immigration, in my opinion, is one of them. I have to chuckle that the U.S. is going to reopen its borders to vaccinated people traveling across the border from Canada and Mexico. Now, Canada, I said, fine, that sounds great. But I chuckled when I heard, oh, by the way, also Mexico. So if you cross the border legally, you have to prove you're vaccinated. Cross the border illegally, come on down. I just had to chuckle. Sometime in the near future, some administration, this one, the next one, who knows, is going to have to deal with this immigration issue. It's been kicked down the road too many times. A break, and we'll be back with more lines open for you on the Art Lewis Show.
What you thinking about?
You don't want to know.
Come on, try me.
I'm thinking about everything I don't like about our kitchen.
This again. I think it's time to call a specialist.
Someone to make me forget how much our kitchen bugs me?
No, not a hypnotist. I meant stone specialist. Stops.
Ooh, that could make me forget the things that bug me about you.
Now that might take a hypnotist.
Not if we get new countertops. Then you'd have a clean slate.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Come on, that was funny.
Stone Specialists will handle your countertop upgrade from start to finish, from imagination to installation. They'll guide you through every step of the process. Upgrade and increase the beauty and value of your home with Stone Specialists, now available by appointment to serve you better. With 2 locations in Burton and Midland at stonespecialists.net or follow us on Facebook. Stone Specialists will handle your countertop upgrade from start to finish. Stone Specialists. Bring the romance of natural stone.
Still looking for that one special voice that makes you fall in love with podcasts? The one is out there and free on Spotify. With over 2 million shows and today's most talked about podcasts, Spotify is the best place to find that one special show that makes you laugh, keeps you interested, and keeps you listening for more. Whatever you're into, get way more into it with a podcast. Find the one you've been listening for right now, free on Spotify.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated. And divorce delivers one of life's hardest blows. The relationship suddenly gone. But you don't have to walk through this alone. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has guided men through the challenges of divorce. You're not alone. Call Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Detroit area attorneys. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. CordellCordell.com.
At CDW, we get the right network makes remote locations seem less remote.
Great, because my data is lagging out here.
CDW can orchestrate the Aruba Edge Services platform, bringing computing closer to where data is created. It automates, unifies, and secures the edge, fixing problems before they impact your business, giving your network a sixth sense. Someone at the door?
Just a moose. He works here.
Ah. Creation by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/Aruba.
Hi, this is Mike Avery, and here's what's coming up this week on Outdoor Magazine. First, Al Beecham talks about pheasant hunting in Michigan and the Michigan Pheasant Hunting Initiative. Then Jason Wolverton of the Forward Corporation and his Real Men Wear Pink campaign. In hour number 2, it's Richard P. Smith talking about bear and deer hunting. And in hour number 3, Don Barnard talks about fall muskie fishing on inland lakes. Listen Sunday mornings at 9 on 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
Sean Hannity, weekdays at 3 on 100.5 and 790 News Radio.
All right, we're back. A couple other things I wanted to touch on. The John Gruden resignation won't go away. It's very much in the news because we're starting to hear reactions from players, from the NFL, and the Players Association executive director, a former trial lawyer himself. He had trouble finding words to describe his emotions during this week, because he had learned that he was the subject of some of those disparaging 10-year-old email chain of communications between Gruden and some associates. And I think we're going to hear from more people. You know, it just seems so commonplace that the bigger you are, the harder you fall. Now, why would people in that position, knowing full well they're in the public eye and public scrutiny, and I'm not just talking about Gruden, I'm talking about all the actors and politicians and others who have come and gone because of past remarks and statements, why would you put yourself in that kind of jeopardy and risk everything you worked for all your life? I don't understand it. Now, I have said many times that a deep dive into anybody's background probably will find something that's off color, biased, what have you. I don't think anyone's bulletproof when it comes to that. And if you want to know where I learned that from, I learned that from my father. My father was a very brilliant man. He was a criminal tax lawyer and a CPA. Talk about forensic audits we talked about. But he never wanted to go into private practice. He was a federal agent. He was a special agent in the Treasury. He loved it. But he also lived by a motto. You dig deep on anyone, and you're going to find something. So, I understand that we've all probably done things in our lives we regret, we take back, what have you. But in this day and age, and some of these things are only 10 years old, so I mean, it's not like they're 40, 50 years old to draw them up. These things are in the digital age when everybody understands nothing's private anymore. Why would you risk everything? Of course, I understand when they did it, probably didn't think he was risking anything. But it's beyond me. Absolutely beyond me, and particularly in this day and age where everything is under scrutiny, privacy's out the window. It's, just asking for trouble. Oh, well. Sean is in Bay City. I want to chat with Sean before we have to say so long for the day. Sean, good morning.
Good morning, Art. This one's just got me bamboozled.
What's that?
Well, this John Gruden thing, I mean, who do they have performing for halftime? Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Eminem. Have you ever listened to their lyrics? I mean,
yep.
This is a joke. They think people are stupid, apparently, because geez, oh, Pete, man.
Yeah, here's the thing,
and
Sean.
Remember,
you're going to agree with this, Sean. You're going to agree with this. Excuse me. There are two issues here. There's Gruden and what he said. So he's going to be held to that standard. The NFL is far from being this lily white, and I don't mean that racially. I mean, a pure organization that does everything above board and everything is right. Nonsense. The NFL needs to take a deep look at themselves sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. That's my whole point. And then you got to remember, people always think they'll never go ahead. Look at my stuff. I got nothing to hide. The government can look, right? Yeah. See, and until it's you, it doesn't matter, does it?
That's it.
The deal. They wanted to make an example out of John Gruden, and they did.
Well, whoever released those emails, whoever found those emails, obviously wasn't a friend of John Gruden's. So that's true. But the fact is, regardless of that, why do people in those positions continually put themselves in peril? Not just Gruden. I mean, it's actors, there's politicians, there's executives, you name it.
Absolutely, I hear you.
And I don't understand why they put themselves in that position. It's one of the reasons, I have to tell you, it's one of the reasons I do not spend a lot of time on social media. I only use social media when I'm absolutely forced to, and that's rare. I've got a Facebook page. I don't think I've put anything on it in years, So
outstanding, good man.
So anyway, oh well.
But it's just funny that Dr. Dre could beat up women in the 90s.
Yeah.
Smoke can murder people.
And they're the halftime, right?
Right,
yeah.
This guy said something that hurt your feelings, and that's a big deal.
Yeah. Well, it's double standard, but yeah, they're both wrong. All right. Hey, I got to run.
All right, Art.
Take care, Sean.
Have a great day.
You bet.
Bye.
We'll be back to close out after these notes on the Art Lewis Show.
Hello, this is Ron from All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair. Now, All A's is an exclusive authorized repair facility for BG products and services. BG is a proprietary group of chemicals, equipment, and procedures that flush your engine's lubrication system, cooling system, and fuel injectors, increasing the engine's performance, efficiency, and life. So next time you schedule routine auto maintenance, ask All A's about the advantages of BG services. You'll definitely notice a difference. All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair, just 5 minutes from Dow Diamond on Poseyville Road.
Is All A's Automotive business you can depend on?
Just moved to Midland, was dreading finding a new auto shop. Search over, came highly recommended, and I, in turn, highly recommended them.
They did a great job getting me in fast and had excellent communication with what was going on with my vehicle through diagnostic and repair.
In fact, 96% of All A's customers rank them 4 or 5 out of 5 stars. See for yourself at allaysautorepair.net. All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair, just 5 minutes from Dow Diamond on Poseyville Road.
The pandemic's reminded us we live in a sea of airborne germs that can assault us with every breath. Your nose is the body's first line of defense by helping filter out allergens, bacteria, and viruses before they... How do you clean your nose? Navage uses powered suction to flush out mucus and germs that cause congestion or worse, can make you sick. Over 2 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target.
COVID is spiking again, and it's just not clear how to keep your family safe. Fever is the leading symptom of COVID, and the only way to reliably detect it is with an accurate thermometer. Be vigilant and be accurate with the Exergen Temporal Scanner, whose accuracy has been proven in more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometer inaccurate and will not reliably detect a fever that might mean COVID. Learn more at Exergen.com.
The pandemic's reminded us we live in a sea of airborne germs that can assault us with every breath. Your nose is the body's first line of defense by helping filter out allergens, bacteria, and viruses before they reach your lungs. But like any air filter, the more clogged up it gets, the less it works. So how do you clean your nose? I'm Martin Hoke, and I didn't invent nasal irrigation. The neti pot's been around thousands of years. But I did invent Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. Navage uses powered suction to flush out mucus and germs, or worse, can make you sick. Over 2 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Navage has over 70,000 online reviews averaging 4.7 stars because it works and it's easy to use. Go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Now available with eucalyptus for a spa-like experience. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Art Lewis Show. Coming up next hour, going to focus on the Great Lakes Bay Region Economic Club and the special guest speaker. Tell you more about that, though, after the news. But first, the news from CBS will fill you in on the national and international news. Local report will bring you up to date on everything happening in the Great Lakes Bay Region and the state of Michigan. And then we will be back with more. Focus next. We'll talk to you right after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City. WFM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Facet Wealth.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Captain Kirk goes where no 90-year-old has gone before. William Shatner, who played Captain Kirk on Star Trek, and 3 other passengers blasted off from West Texas for the edge of space in a Blue Origin rocket 11 minutes ago.
He is on her space with the second human spaceflight crew. What a launch.
After several delays, they traveled Earth. Now they are back home, just landed in the desert.
Touchdown. Welcome back, New Shepard. The 4th flight to space and back for that vehicle provided a beautiful flight to space for our second human crew.
Again, William Shatner and company have gone to space and back safely. Millions of retirees will be getting a 5.9% boost, an average about $92 a month more in Social Security benefits for 2022. That's the steepest increase in 39 years, thanks to a pandemic-era jump in consumer prices. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger. The cost of energy, food, and shelter were the contributing factors. As oil prices have headed higher, the energy component of the CPI has increased dramatically. Local businesses are hoping for a boost when the U.S. opens land borders with Canada and Mexico next month after a 1.5-year pandemic hold. CBS News travel editor Peter Greenberg.
The economic impact of this order is huge in terms of tourism revenue and cross-border business, and it affects hundreds of thousands of travelers on both sides of the Canadian and Mexican borders.
The FDA is nudging the food industry to cut back on salt. Here's CBS's Linda Kenyon.
The guidelines are not about the amount of salt you shake on your food at home. Instead, these new food you eat out at restaurants, school cafeterias, and in packaged foods. The FDA wants Americans to reduce the average daily sodium intake by 12% over the next 2.5 years. Reducing salt intake can reduce the risk of diseases, including heart-related issues.
There are no injuries reported, but lots of damage from severe weather overnight west of Oklahoma City, in and around Clinton, Oklahoma. Derek Grubb says a regional airport hangar was hit hard.
There was 2 airplanes. There was a VTOL Bonanza and a Cherokee 235 that I was training in. And there's a couple vintage cars in the back.
This morning, Hurricane Pamela made landfall along Mexico's blasting the popular tourist spot of Mazatlan with high winds and heavy rain. The system is expected to weaken quickly as it moves inland. The Dow's down 153. This is CBS News.
Facet Wealth, personalized and affordable financial planning for everyday Americans. No wealth or asset minimums. Quality financial advice for every stage of your life.
Spectrum Business knows small businesses are always looking to cut expenses. That's why we offer the best value on fast internet and phone. But we wanted to do more. So, how does 1 month free sound? Get 200 megabit per second internet for $49.99. Phone for $19.99 a month. And right now, you can get 1 month of internet and phone and even TV for free. Call 855-258-5887 and switch to Spectrum Business. Restrictions apply.
You wouldn't pass up 5% more torque. So don't pass up on the potential to improve feed efficiency by about 5% when you feed Energen corn as grain or silage, as shown in recent feeding trials at leading universities. With farm-proven results, you've got the goods. Energen. EnergenFeed.com.
Marcus by Goldman Sachs offers personal loans with no fees, ever. Banks offer coffee. So what's more important? A Marcus by Goldman Sachs loan with no fees that could help consolidate debt, or bank coffee that tastes like bank coffee. You can money. Visit Marcus.com to learn more about saving, borrowing, and investing from Marcus by Goldman Sachs.
Investing involves risk and investments may lose value. Brokerage and investment advisory services by Goldman Sachs & Company, LLC. Member FINRA SIPC. Lending and deposits products provided by Goldman Sachs Bank USA. Member FDIC.
The pandemic's reminded us we live in a sea of airborne germs that can assault us with every breath. Your nose is the by helping filter out allergens, bacteria, and viruses before they reach your lungs. So how do you clean your nose? Navage uses powered suction to flush out mucus and germs that cause congestion, or worse, can make you sick. Over 2 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 5. Good morning. I'm Mike Percha. A once popular soul food venue in downtown Saginaw may be coming back after being shuttered the last 4 years. Rita's Southern Soul Cafe was shut down by the city after a shooting occurred in May 2017 outside the location when unknown suspects fired into the building and security inside returned fire. No one was injured in the exchange. The city revoked Rita Johnson's business license, citing a public safety concern. Johnson then sued the city. On Monday night, the Saginaw City Council approved a settlement of the lawsuit of $325,000 in reinstatements. WJRT TV reports Johnson is considering investing the settlement funds into the business and reopening by this New Year's holiday. Saginaw police have been approved to purchase a $273,000 camera system they say will help with investigating violent crime. Here's Rick Antonio.
The money made through a U.S. Department of Justice grant will go towards a series of traffic-aimed cameras capturing high-definition images, including vehicle license plate numbers. Saginaw Police Chief Bob Ruth says after a violent crime where a witness provides a vehicle description, investigators can access surveillance footage to match images of suspected vehicles in the area at the time of the crime. He adds there are no plans to publicly reveal how many cameras are being purchased or they'll be put into use in order to prevent avoidance by would-be criminals. He did share, however, that the surveillance system is movable, will be installed at strategic locations, and will be focused on investigating violent crimes, including shootings and armed robberies, but with a few upgrades, it could be used to capture plate numbers of speeders and drivers running red lights. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time, 11:07.
What you thinking about?
You don't want to know.
Come on, try me.
I'm thinking about everything I don't like about our kitchen.
This again. I think it's time to call a specialist.
Someone to make me forget how much our kitchen bugs me?
No, not a hypnotist. I meant Stone Special. Countertops.
Ooh, that could make me forget the things that bug me about you.
Now that might take a hypnotist.
Not if we get new countertops. Then you'd have a clean slate.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Come on, that was funny.
Stone Specialists will handle your countertop upgrade from start to finish, from imagination to installation. They'll guide you through every step of the process. Upgrade and increase the beauty and value of your home with Stone Specialists, now available by appointment to serve you better. With 2 locations in Burton and Midland at stonespecialists.net or follow us on Facebook. Stone Specialists will handle your countertop upgrade from start to finish. Bring the romance of natural stone to your home.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and Governor Whitmer are raising awareness during Weatherization Month of a program which reduces household energy costs by an average of $283 per year, benefiting approximately 1,300 low-income families across the state. The governor has proclaimed October as Weatherization Month in the state. Health and safety issues such as elevated levels of carbon monoxide, moisture problems, mold, ventilation needs, and heating systems, safety, and efficiency are addressed. The program provides benefits beyond energy savings. Improved indoor air quality and appropriate ventilation strategies lead to healthier living conditions in weatherized homes. These healthier conditions often lead to improved health outcomes, such as reduced asthma triggers and fewer doctor visits. Meetings are scheduled to take place next week as a bipartisan panel looks to redraw some districts based on 2020 census data, meetings that State Senator Adam Hollier says are important to the process.
Well, lucky for us, they canceled their meetings this week so that they could work on drawing maps themselves and are going to have a public hearing on Tuesday at the TCS Center. So people can go right downtown and say, hey, my neighborhood should be drawn with my neighborhood.
Commissioners are expected to submit their own plans for possible redistricting later this month. Brockway Mountain on the Keweenaw Peninsula in the Upper Peninsula has been recognized once again as one of the top 10 scenic drives for fall color in the U.S., this time by Fox News. The Brockway Mountain Drive is a 9.5-mile route outside of Copper Harbor. Also making the list, US 129, the Dragon in Robbinsville, North Carolina, and Independence Pass in Lake and Pitkin counties, Colorado. When you see news happening, call the WSGW 20790. It's 11:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Cloudy today, high near 63. Tonight, mainly cloudy areas of showers and storms, low near 56. High of 65 on Thursday. Lots of sunshine. Thursday night, mainly clear, low of 45. On Friday, occasional sun. Slight chance of a shower, high near 58. Friday night, mainly cloudy, low near 42. High of 55 on Saturday. Mainly cloudy, a few sunny breaks. Partly cloudy, low near 43. Sunny on Sunday, high near 57. On Monday, we're at a high of 62. I'm meteorologist Laura Lockwood with a WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now, 63.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
And a good morning to you. Welcome to another edition of Focus here on WSGW, sponsored by RoofMax, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about RoofMax online at roofmax.com or call Ben 989-859-6751. That's RoofMax with 2 X's. And on Focus today, we're going to talk about economics with members who have something to do and know about it. First of all, from the Great Lakes Bay Region Economics Club, we say good morning to Wayne Hoffman. Wayne, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Nice to join you today.
Same here. And also with Wayne this morning is their upcoming guest speaker from the Home Builders Association. We say hello to Bob Filka. Bob, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Good to be with you.
Glad to have you both here. Wayne, I want to start with you because I think we need a little overview of the Great Lakes Bay Regional Economic Club and what it is.
Well, the Great Lakes Bay Economic Club has been in existence since 1973. Really a membership of business owners, corporate leaders from around the region. And the reason why we're having the housing topic this month is housing really is economic development. And a lot of our members are having a hard time finding talent right now. And a big part of that equation is quality housing. So, it is really important to our membership.
So the club does what?
We actually host discussions. So we host discussions about every month during the fall and winter months and into the spring at SVSU at Curtis Hall. And we bring folks in like Bob to lead the discussion of things that really aren't being discussed in our region as much as they should be.
Almost, in a way, sounds like an economic think tank.
Absolutely.
And Bob, what's your relationship to the HBA?
I'm the CEO of the Home Builders Association. We represent about 5,000 members across the state, including the Bay region. And so that's not all home builders. We represent subcontractors and others that do business in residential construction industry.
In your history of residential construction, have you ever seen a time when prices were so crazy, when the cost of goods were so high and labor so short?
No, we have a dysfunctional housing marketplace, and I think that is a appropriate word to use. And building material shortages and price increases right now, labor shortages. Amidst all of that, demand for housing is very, very high. We've been underproducing homes in Michigan over the last decade or more, and it's starting to show because people are desperate for housing. And actually demand, believe it or not, even with those price increases and labor shortages, demand is up 40%. Actually, permits for single family homes are up 40% over last year. Obviously, that was a pandemic year, and the industry was shut down for a couple months. But if you even compare it to 2019, we're about 20% higher than we were back in 2019. So obviously, demand is really out there, and there's shortages of adequate, attainable housing for all Michiganders across the state.
Yeah, there's a real paradox for the homeowner that wants to sell to either move up to a bigger place or a smaller place. They'll sell their home and they'll make good money on it, probably more than asking. But when they go to look for that next home, look out.
Exactly. And I think the concern we have, certainly at the Home Builders Association too, is just the loss of equity opportunities for future home buyers, that many younger families and stuff are getting stuck in high rent situations, making it more and more difficult to save to actually then purchase their first home. So it's kind of it's a ripple effect that we're seeing that really is going to impact our future generations. They're not building the kind of equity that many families have been able to build over the years as they've owned their homes.
All right, we're going to take a break here. We'll come back with our guests, look a bit into the future and see if there's any reason to think there'll be a change, as we talk to Wayne Hoffman from the Great Lakes Bay Economics Club and Bob Filka from the Home Builders Association here in Michigan. We will be back with them after these notes.
Motown legends, the Temptations, the Four Tops. Saturday night, November 27th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Temps and Tops together again. Tickets start at $34. On sale now at the Soaring Eagle, at Eagles Landing box offices, or online at etix.com. T&T together again. The legendary Motown sound, November 27th at Soaring Eagle Casino.
Just like ain't no woman like the one I got.
Spend part of Thanksgiving weekend with the Temps and Tops at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
The way you do the things you do, the way you do, oh baby, I need your love.
Motown's Fab Five and Famous Four, the Temptations, and Four Tops. Tickets on sale. Details at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
At Midland Furniture Garage, personal service and great design is everywhere and within all budgets. Our premium style, high quality furniture can be customized for maximum comfort. Discover our recliners, window treatments, sofas, and more by Stressless, Norwalk, Hunter Douglas, and others. Come into Midland Furniture Garage, Midland's creative source, and see what's possible for yourself. Midland Furniture Garage, 34 Ashman Circle in Midland, and online at MidlandFurnitureGarage.com.
With confusion around vaccinations, masks, and public screenings, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign, so make sure you use an accurate thermometer for your family. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them and cannot be relied on. Be vigilant and be Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
And it's time to play the WSGW Fall into Cash contest presented by Herman Hisson Company in downtown Bay City. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $1,000 by entering the following word online at WSGW.com. And the word this hour is monster. Frankenstein was a monster. MONSTER. It's an Alpha Media company-wide contest. Must be 18 or older to play. One winner chosen each day. Complete rules at WSGW.com. Fall into Cash contest presented by Herman Hiss and Company on WSGW. Back with you on Focus. We're talking to Wayne Hoffman from the Great Lakes Bay Economics Club and their speaker coming up at a meeting, Bob Filka from the Home Builders Association of Michigan. Before I forget, Wayne, when is the meeting?
The meeting on the 18th of October, which is next week, and we're going to be at Curtis Hall at SVSU. And if you want to attend, just go to our website, glbec.org, and you can look into membership and the cost of attendance.
And is it for members only?
No, it's not just for members only. You get a special member rate if you are a member, but it's open to anyone who has an interest. So I encourage everyone to check it out.
So, Bob, you know, we're in this almost housing crisis, I guess I would call it. Let's look at a couple of individual things. First of all, the price of lumber. My understanding is that the price has mitigated a little bit. What do you see as the future in that?
Well, lumber, not as big of an issue at this point in terms of price, although prices are creeping back up. It's really delivery and supply chain issues, right? So
yeah.
It's what used to take maybe days to order products to arrive on a build site. Now it's taking months, and you can't predict when those materials are going to be arriving. So that's really the bigger issue than just the price at this point.
So if a potential home owner wants to build a home and they come to one of your members and they say, okay, I've got the lot, I've got the footprint, here's my plans. What does the builder tell them in terms of expectation? How long is it going to take to build that house?
Well, again, it depends on the nature of the products, the materials that they building materials. But I can tell you, a year is not uncommon, and actually beyond a year is becoming all too familiar. Whereas in the past, a custom home built home might take you 6 or 7 months tops. We're looking at a year or longer. And actually, anybody that's considering or looking at a new construction project or a remodeling project for that matter, I would encourage them to make some calls and get on people's lists, because there's a shortage of builders and contractors out there, and their lists are often several months to a year or more to get in line to have them do that work for you. So the thing that I like to remind listeners across the state is, you got to plan a lot earlier now, and you got to expect that it's going to take longer. So you need some patience. And, oh, by the way, you probably need to sock a little extra money away for cost overruns, because depending on the materials, product types that you're having installed in your home, those prices are continually rising. And I expect them to continue to do so until we see some resolution of supply chain issues. And that's affecting every industry across the country. It's definitely impacting home building.
It almost seems, with that explanation of the marketplace right now, that explains why built homes are going for more than the asking price.
Indeed.
And some of them very high. I mean, some of them, I've heard cases where, a $250,000 home goes for what, $300,000 or more?
It can if it's in a nice neighborhood, and yes, absolutely. And also, without contingencies, a lot of offers, it's very hard for a new home buyer, first-time home buyer, to compete in this environment. And that's one of the things I mentioned earlier is long-term, we're losing a whole generation, because if you need an FHA loan, or if you need to tap into that VA loan, you're at a disadvantage in this marketplace, because the seller's going to go with the cash buyer, or he's going to go with someone who's got conventional financing where you don't have to wait and go through all these hoops. So, yeah, the market, it's really, it has changed dramatically, and we need some intervention. There's some government reforms that we're pushing in the legislature. Actually, a series of bills passed the state Senate and should be working their way through the House quickly here this fall. And it's to give local communities more tools, financial tools, to try and attract housing investment that they need, because most of the homes that are being built today are actually at a high end of the price range that most Michiganders can't afford.
Will the governor sign it?
We're hopeful. We have a very bipartisan, very diverse coalition of groups.
There you
We've got organizations like the MML representing cities. We've got the chambers of commerce across the state are supportive. We have people like Habitat and other nonprofit. Of this coalition. So yeah, I do believe she will sign those measures.
Wayne, let's remind everybody again, if they want to find out more information about the Economic Club, where do they go?
You can go to our website, which is the glbec.org, which stands for the Great Lakes Bay Economic Club. We put our events, membership information on there, and just about anyone who is interested in economics in our region and how business is working are welcome to join. So I encourage everyone to check it out.
Well, we appreciate your visiting with us today. And Bob, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It was my pleasure.
Wayne, thanks a lot, and good luck with the meeting. Look forward.
Thanks, Art.
Take
Appreciate
care. Have a great day. Bye-bye now. Wayne Hoffman with the Great Lakes Bay Economic Club, and Bob Filka with the Home Builders Association of Michigan. We thank them for joining us. We'll pause now, come back, find out what's happening in the markets from Baird and Company when we return.
I wasn't able to sleep in my own bed because of my wife's struggles with CPAP. I had to move out to the couch, out to the recliner, out to my son's bunk bed. That is, until she started using Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside her body with just the click of a remote.
Get back to sleeping in your own bed with Inspire. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit InspireSleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
I choose Stand Crop System because I know they've got my back. Their Spray Early Weed Control Guarantee helps me get the most out of early season applications. If I experience less than commercially acceptable performance, I'm eligible for up to $15 per acre on additional applications. That's a system I can depend on. The Roundup Ready Extend Crop System. See program details at SprayEarlyGuarantee.com.
Guarantee is subject to program restrictions. Always follow pesticide label directions.
They say if you listen hard enough, you can hear the corn grow. It's true. When you're out in the field, you understand its challenges and what it needs to thrive. Channel Seedsmen bring insights from the field to our team of Bayer. Knowledge inspires our product development. From your best ground to your most challenging condition, our products are designed to perform in your fields. Visit channellistens.com to see our latest innovations. Always read and follow IRM where applicable, grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a RoofMax shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money. Guaranteed with RoofMax, a powerful fusion of science and nature. At 859-6751.
There's a lot of confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID, with guidelines and regulations changing by the week. You need an accurate thermometer for your family to check for fever, the leading sign of flu and COVID. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no scientific studies behind them and can miss the fever that might mean COVID. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Tired of living paycheck to paycheck? What if it didn't take years or even months to dramatically? What if you could do it virtually overnight? It's like a financial wormhole, something that moves you from one side of the universe to the other in the blink of an eye. But in this case, it's moving you from barely paying your bills to financial freedom in a snap. Learn more at financialwormholes.com. Do it today, and tomorrow you could start living the good life. Financialwormholes.com. That's financialwormholes.com.
Tom Sullivan, weeknights at 7 on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, that'll do it for Focus Today, brought to you by RoofMax. Call Ben at 859-6751 or online, roofmax.com with 2 X's. Time to head over to Baird and Company for our ticker tip of the day, and that is where we find Steve Anderson. Good morning, Steve.
And a good morning to you, Mr. Art.
And how are the markets faring on this Wednesday?
Well, Wednesday has them mixed. We've got the Dow Jones Industrial Average down by 177 points, putting it at 34,202 on volume of 271 million shares. The NASDAQ, however, is ahead by 45, putting it at 14,511. Volume there, 300 million shares.
And your ticker tip for the day?
Well, I want to talk a little bit about something in the planning process called goal setting. Everybody says, all the planners will tell you you should have a goal. And a lot of people, when you ask them, what's your goal for your investments? Their response will be making money. Well, that in and of itself is not a bad idea. It's just not specific enough to manage to. You need to have a goal that is measurable. When, how, why. If it's for retirement dollars and you're 40, well, you now have probably a 20 to 25 to 30 year time horizon. That money gets measured or gets invested much differently than if you say, I'm going to buy a car in 6 months and I'm investing for that. So you have to have those measurable, specific goals. You have to evaluate how your allocation is performing as it's going toward those goals. And you have to potentially make some changes along the way. But remember, on your longest term goals, you don't changing on a day-to-day basis because that winds up not being helpful.
Well, this is why we need help from an expert like you. How do they get a hold of you?
Well, they can call us right here at Baird in Saginaw, where the telephone number is 790-5724. And our Midland location is 839-9035. And we are available on the web at rwbaird, that's BAIRD.com, and then look for the Saginaw or Midland branch.
All right, Steve, have a great day. We'll talk to you down the road.
Sounds good. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Steve Anderson at Baird and Company with our ticker tip of the day. That leads us to the Farm Show with Terry Henney. That will be along next.
This is Dr. Dennis LaFond.